Stand by for the opening night of the National Television Service.
We hit 100 subscribers, and now that we know that Pooh Crafter isn't Sebastian, we can talk shit about Sebastian. Our next goal is 563 subscribers. Okay.
He's got 563.
I don't actually remember.
Oh,
Here,
okay.
I
I thought he said. I thought
check.
he has like just under 300 or something like that.
No, he has over 500.
Oh, okay, sick. Good for Sebastian. That's what like almost 2 decades of YouTube dedication will get you.
Oh, it didn't come up.
Sebastian's been with the platform for longer than a lot of the most renowned
504.
creators.
So the next goal is 505.
505.
Specific. Dude, you need to be super fucked up. Just do a 505 subscriber special. I'm just talking shit. I'm just fucking around.
No, that's funny.
No, but so I did. If you look down underneath the curtain, I got us little poppers.
Ooh.
You see that?
Yeah. Do you pull it?
So you take the cap off,
This seems like a trick.
and then you have to hit it with your hand. You have to pump it up with your hand.
Okay.
I have a loud one. I kind of fucked it up. You found it very quickly. I was hoping to bring it up, show the camera, and then like you'd come up, and then I could be like, "Pow!" Loud noise. That was very loud. My
You should
ears
have
are
just
actually
said
ringing.
under your seat.
Holy shit!
It's all over me.
Oh, it's on your side. Wow, that'll represent your liberal politics. No, I'm kidding. You rainbow.
Yeah, you know what my politics
rainbow.
are, bitches? Confetti.
It's all small, tiny little fleck pieces too. I'm sorry.
And
No.
not-
She bought that.
And not a confetto
I didn't buy
in the
the
drink.
No, the cannon's not the bad part. I told you that. Wow, you are covered, dog. You're somehow more fucked up from yours than mine. That was so loud, dude. It's 8 p.m. on a Sunday. My neighbors.
Yeah, but we also live in Bellevue, Washington.
Oh yeah, that.
Everyone in Bellevue, Washington was just like, I think I just heard gunshots. This city's getting unsafe.
Dude, gotta keep the property taxes down, brother. Oh, right on the carpet.
Not in my
Julian.
backyards.
Oh, God. Okay. Okay, so we got that out of the way. And now, this has 6 questions per page and 6 pages, or more than that. There's a bunch of questions on here, so I figure we just go straight into it.
Yeah.
If you're cool with that? Okay,
sounds
so
good.
today Julian and I, for episode 11, are going to be doing a political?
The political compass test.
Julian has a, fuck did you major in?
Political science.
Political science. He's a political to science degree, so it's going to be fun where, oh, dude, the lights aren't on. Hold on.
Good catch.
There you go.
The bridge over to Zack's house was closed in my way getting here, so I took a route so inefficient that if it had been Oregon Trail times, half of my party would have died. I would have been mutinied so quickly.
So Julian has a political science degree, and I do not. So this should be fun. This should wield. And I think Julian. So first we're gonna have Julian guess where we're both gonna land at. But I think Julian's gonna be surprised. I think that a lot of the times I come off as more conservative because, if you were to look at people who don't like using proper pronouns and people who do like using proper pronouns, I dislike the people who will look at someone who uses a transgendered person's proper pronouns someone who won't want to use their proper pronouns, to the point where they won't want to associate with people who will use someone's preferred pronouns.
Yeah.
God, I'm fucking this up. I find people who won't associate with the opposite side kind of annoying on both ends.
Yes.
And so I think I tend to come off, because I hang out with you and a lot of liberal people, I come off as conservative when I talked to Megan about this, about one of my classmates who was on the exact opposite side of this.
Yeah.
And I was doing annoying shit to him too. And I tend to find it obnoxious when someone won't associate with someone within reason because of a specific political stance that they have.
No,
so I think I'm gonna surprise you.
That's something that so it's actually, I don't think that's too much of a surprise to me. I don't know what people who watch you, like who are just meeting you via this show for the first time, think your politics might be. But no, I definitely agree. In like Louisiana, you're like the fifth most liberal guy there. You're not like,
bro. I was arguing in
I mean,
class.
yeah.
About what the fuck were we arguing about? Oh, we were arguing about whether or not. So we had a union meeting recently about like we had to have a new contract with the Contractors Association of Washington. I think it's of Washington. And someone, like, you get to go up and ask any questions you want. And someone went up and said that they wanted the contract to start using gender neutral terms so that rather than being a tradesman or a tradesman or a journeyman, it would be journey people or journey person or a tradesperson. And then we somehow got into an argument about whether or not the term men was gendered or not, like whether or not that was already a gender neutral word. And I was the only motherfucker. And granted, I don't know if I'm right or wrong or not, but I do feel like the word men in its origin had to have been gendered. So like, there's no fucking way.
I think.
But either way, this is kind of a tangent that I shouldn't even be going on for. Like, I said, hey, let's get right into it, and I've like rambled for like 6 fucking minutes. But nonetheless, this was important to Julian because it lets people know where we stand, so that maybe I can not get him in trouble for saying crazy things sometimes. Is that somewhat accurate?
No, I think I originally thought of it because it's like, we're always arguing, and you're pretty good at arguing. So when we're just arguing in the forum of like real life, it's hard to see who comes out on top. So I wanted to bring the argument to the forum of politics,
where you have the college,
where I have the high ground.
All right. So do you have it pulled up on your laptop?
I do.
All right, so you're currently seeing it from my perspective. I can swap in between Julian and I because I have a switcher over here, but it doesn't really matter.
He's just gonna answer the most atrocious shit.
Well, I was looking through some of them and I was like, dude, how funny would it be if I just like Nazi? No, okay. So do you want? So first you have to make your prediction, and so on. I was looking at the top and I recognize the square where it's like a red square,
this graph, yes.
Red, blue, green, purple. What do those mean?
Okay, so I don't know if you're gonna do like a SpongeBob, like we're not talking about this. So
if Megan shows, she could see it right here. There's that. I'm sure people have seen it before.
So people have seen it before. So what is it? It's
you know what I can do?
It's conservative, liberal, or libertarian, authoritarian, or like left, right, and then authoritarian.
Like, you don't show my screen when I'm doing. Just show Julian.
Hey guys.
Keep talking. Yeah, but like show it once it's looked up. Don't point. He's talking. Point it.
I don't know how this is gonna turn out. I think, Zach, for my prediction for you, I would definitely put you as being more of a libertarian above anything else. So I think you're going to be pretty libertarian left, honestly. Like, I actually think you and I are going to fall like a few points off. Like, whenever I've done this test with my friends, you get remarkably close. Like, you have to be from like an entirely different understanding of politics to go that far off, you know? So I actually think you're going to be libertarian left, maybe more libertarian than I am, and I'm definitely going to be more left than you.
I think I'm going to be shockingly close to communism.
I think you're going to be right the fuck next to me, man. Like, I think
we'll see. Okay, I don't know how to fucking do this. I give up.
I was telling Lily in the car. I was like, I think that
Let's not go into
this
too much of a
will
tangent.
show that we are remarkably similar.
Okay, just show my screen. This is fine. So you have authoritarian, libertarian, left and right. So if you had to,
this guy's getting a 0 for librarian right off the bat.
Oh yeah. So
what
where
do you think the Dewey Decimal System should? Fuck.
Bro, there's a way to. Bro, I'm gonna kill myself. I swear to fucking God. Holy shit. This thing won't on. Oh God, I fucking hate Chromebooks. I swear to God. I got these for free. There's like normally a way on a PC you can right click it. No, I swear to God. Wait, left click? I thought it was right click. Bro, I'm doing right click, and it's not. There's like one button on a Chromebook. Like it doesn't work. Fuck it. Okay, I wanted you to be able to, like, point to like a square on here, So I like make this fun. Oh, you know what we could do? So, but your guess on there, Mister.
Okay, so
Mr. Political Science
I
degree.
think that you are going to be like, I think you and I are both going to exist somewhere within this libertarian left square. I think that if anything, you're going to be more like here, and I'm going to be more like here.
Hey, show the full thing.
So I think that Zach
God,
is
keep it in one place for your girlfriend's fucking sake. Jesus
I think
Christ.
Zach is going to be.
He's got glitter on his.
You're doing pretty good at this, babe. All that Halo.
She's given up.
work for you.
I guess. Come on. We got 10 minutes.
Okay.
We're 10 minutes in. Come on. Question 1 of page 1. Me either. Okay. If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than interests of transnational corporations. If I'm gonna be real, that was a lot of big words. I'm gonna be completely honest.
I thought I have to
words.
save this joke for later in the episode, but how about I read them?
I think this
Why don't you
adds
break it down?
this adds comedic value. Wow, if economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of yes.
Yes.
So
I strongly
it's
agree.
basically saying that if the economy takes a global scale, it should serve the masses rather than corporations. It should serve people over.
It should serve people over Facebook.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
Strongly agree. Yeah.
I'd rather support my country whether it was right or wrong.
I'd always support my country, whether
You know what? Why don't you read them?
I'd always support my country, whether or not it was right or wrong. Any debate, I disagree. Yeah.
Cool. We're good.
Strongly disagree. I gotta fucking scroll down, you bitch. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it.
I disagree.
In general, I would say agree with it, not strongly agree, but it's foolish to be I'm an American, so there's something inherently better about that. But be prideful about what you want. People are prideful about all tons of stupid shit. Sure, have pride. Just
Does it make
be
you
polite.
foolish though?
I think it would be foolish to act on it. If you were to say, oh, I'm inherently better equipped for this situation as an American because I have pride in where I grew up, I think that's foolish. But I just think
But if someone
feeling
were
a
to
nice
point-
feeling is
Yeah.
sure, in the same way that all feelings are foolish, I think it's foolish.
Is it foolish to be proud? I'm proud that I'm my mom's son, and I didn't get to choose that I was born out of her.
That's a very interesting point because
Well,
there are
I don't think
deeper
there's
things.
I don't think there's anything inherently foolish is a weird word. You know what I mean? If you were to say
I think
like,
the
if-
terminology is exactly what the test is trying to get at too. So
Oh, yeah, but the
I'm not
word
trying to give them
foolish-
too much credit, but yes,
I don't think you're inherently a fool because you have a self-identity that involves the people that you grew up with or the people in your family or the people the spot in the world. I'm proudful of being from Seattle. I like Seattle a lot.
True. Same here.
I like the Seahawks. I'm fucking down, you know what I mean? And I don't think
I'm
that makes
every Seattle sports fan. I'm just yeah, Seattle. What sport is this again?
But is someone from Oregon foolish for being into the Ducks?
Yes, go Hawks.
Okay, no. But am I swaying your opinion at all or not really?
No, I think that it's yes, you're bringing up new material into it. I think I would say that it's still it would be. I think someone abroad who was, say you go to any other country in the world that isn't America, take your pick. If you were to say, I'm very proud of being an American in a country that wasn't America.
I'm proud to be an American.
Or
my country keeps me free. I don't know how it goes.
But I would definitely I would think it was foolish to brag about your country to someone else.
That's not what it's asking.
That's not what it's asking though. It's saying be prideful.
I don't brag about. Okay, sometimes I brag about my mom, but I don't brag about being from Seattle. But I would say that I'm proud of being from Seattle. I really like it here.
That's fair. No. I would say that's fair.
But is it swaying your opinion?
No, I'm still gonna put agree because I still think it encompasses. Yeah, I still think your points encompass. closely.
Oh, sorry, I just read the next question.
Yeah. Why don't you read the next question, Zach?
NASCAR has many superior qualities over other car. I don't think. Are you racist, Julian?
I don't think so.
Let me make sure I answer this properly. Are race has many? I'm making sure it's not like a trick question.
Quote from the political compass. Yeah, just show it, Megan. Just
She
it.
showed it. She showed it. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, she is. Jesus Christ. Strongly disagree. Yeah. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Now we're getting philosophical.
Ooh, I disagree.
I also disagree. I don't know if I disagree or strongly disagree though.
I've just been saying strongly to everything, and like, if the only reason I'm gonna do
Every opinion I have is strong.
you think I'd have a weak opinion?
That's such a beta fucking move, dude.
No, I figure here's the thing. If I have to really think about it, then I'll you know what I mean? If I'm having a hard time, I feel fine with this answer,
Yeah.
so you know what I mean?
I would say yeah, I would say strongly disagree too. It is an absolute.
It's real easy to disagree with absolutes.
It's real easy to disagree with absolutes. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified.
Sure. I don't know what international law is. I mean, laws are made up by people. People are flawed. Sure.
So it's like you're not
absolute.
supposed to assassinate a world leader. So I mean, this is a pretty generous example, but you're not supposed to ever assassinate a world leader. World leaders are supposed to be immune from that. But like, let's say, or like at least have the right to like an international trial or something, right? At United States. But I think that it's
Where
like
my country keeps me
if you want to
free.
make up this fictitious like evil king who it's like you could extrajudicially kill and life would be better, like I guess the question for me is there ever such a figure who if you kill you will make life better for people, like who is this evil king type of person? So probably not. So probably strongly disagree.
So the way I look at it is something always inherently unjustified because it's labeled as international law, and I don't think that something being labeled as international law makes it unjustified inherently.
Well, you make sense because, like, I guess I'm taking it to a bit of like an extremist place. So if you were to,
I think I'm just
like,
being a nitpicky bitch.
well, no, but these are good. Like, the world is a nitpicky bitch. When you write laws, people like to be nitpicky with them.
True.
So like,
I mean, okay. Let's say it wasn't international law. Let's say that just like local law. Is local law always? Is breaking a local law always
I would say
unjustified?
breaking local law is not unjust. Like,
And so, what's
like,
the
just-
difference between a couple, like the mayor making a law? I don't know who the fuck. The mayor making a law versus the UN making a law, right?
So-
they can both be opinionated things that could be wrong.
I think I definitely agree with you. It's just like, I guess I have this more, in my political belief, I guess I believe that a world government, like a world democracy, is a better solution than a group of self-interested actors. So I think that it is better to abide by international law than not, because that facilitates more people having conversations over a table instead of declaring war on each other. Because if international law actually means something and people actually respect it and it's really taboo to violate it, then we move closer to like a society, a planet that isn't, warring with itself. But maybe that's just a planet that isn't warring with itself in the traditional sense. In any way, strongly disagree.
If strongly disagree,
military
you
action
read it
is
backwards.
strongly agree. Yes, strongly agree. Sometimes justified. Law is not morality. There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment.
the fuck? There's now a worrying fusion. You ever gone to a fusion restaurant? Shit's good. There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. Worrying fusion.
So, like, if people are watching, like,
understand.
a podcast, for example, they might take whoever comes on the podcast as being news over, say, reading a book or getting their news from, like, a written source. people will just think,
just-
oh, this guy's an expert. And he's on a famous podcast. It's good enough.
I'm gonna say agree, rather than strongly agree, because I just don't worry about things a lot.
Respect.
I'm being real.
That's the most Bellevue. Yeah, I was gonna say that's the most Bellevue, Washington answer ever. Minimum wage? Honestly, haven't given it a lot of thought, man. Like, your guess is as good as mine, you know. I'd say strongly agree because I think the question is more about information, and I think that there is this like, how seriously can we take each given bit of information? Basically, I think there is a worrying discrepancy based on how seriously certain sources are taken. I think information should be a little more hierarchical than that.
Yeah, I would like the word frustrating more than worrying.
I think the word, well,
Distressing.
I think we're debating over semantics, but I personally am worried about it because it
said something up.
leads-
Oh fuck! Julian's camera's doing the fucking thing. They set up at the top. It said before taking the test, please note that this isn't a survey and these aren't questions; they're propositions. To question the logic of individual ones that irritate you is to miss the point. To question the logic of individual ones that irritate you is to miss the point. Some propositions are extreme and some are moderate. That's how we can show you whether you lean towards extremism or moderation on the compass. Your responses should not be overthought. Some of them are intentionally vague. Their purpose is to trigger reactions in the mind, measuring feelings and prejudices rather than detailed opinions on policy. So,
So you just have to go with your gut. You can't like question every single part
thing
of
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm inherently going to do because I don't know.
I think
I'm
that's.
broken.
I think that's what we're doing here.
It's
In a way, yeah. In a way, yeah.
in a world. Oh, it's fine. Julian, go on to the next one.
People are.
It's fine. Let him keep it on him. It's fine.
There's so much glitter on
I have a lot of glitter on me. Yeah, I'm gonna be glittery. I'm gonna be sparkly boy. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. Yeah.
Divided more by class and nationality. Strongly agree.
Strongly agree. Well, it depends on what we're talking about in terms, because like
Talking
yes,
about money versus
strongly agree. No, but I think that it's like, for example, a rich person from New York and a rich person from Dubai have more in common than they do with the poor people of their respective countries. But I guess I'm just saying, like, there are countries that are in general a lot poorer. So is that a coincidence? Like, there are nationalities that are very intrinsically different to ours, and those can be poorer or they can be religious differences. It's not inherently like, it's not that differences are bad, obviously, but it's like the differences exist. So while I'm totally inclined to agree with you, like, I think there's more friction between members of different classes than there are like different nationalities. But I don't think that there's more. What is it? I don't necessarily think you're more divided. It depends. Like, I think that people who are wealthy from every country are more united than people who aren't. But I'm not sure if I'm not sure how different you would like. Do you think the poorest guy in like Louisiana has more in common with the poorest guy in like Qatar than like, you know, than they do with the richest people in their respective countries?
You'd have to re-ask that question if I'm being completely honest with you.
Can
I give you a different example?
Sure.
Okay. I think that in a global crisis, rich Americans are going to be more inclined or going to more naturally work with rich people from other countries than they are with people from their country. I think that rich people from different countries will work together and abandon their own countries for their own good for the sake of themselves over a feeling of nationality.
I think
in general.
I think I agree with that. I think that when I think about it, I'm like, say in an international situation.
Like the movie 2012.
Like the movie.
This is kind of dumb. This is fucking dumb. I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. When they made that big boat, Julian, and all the rich people, the Ark, and they sold it for, what was it, €1 billion a seat?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then they were all like, "Oh, don't let
They
all
were
the poor
like, we
people
gotta fill it
off."
up with Americans, red-blooded, cold-killing, communist fighting Americans. They're like, no, get a bunch of rich people on there.
That's like one of the funniest parts is that they build like 10 arcs and only one survives because they have like a cave in.
And it's America, baby.
So like then they, as the rich people, are then stuck in the same situation as all the poor fucks as they try to scramble onto the arcs and save themselves.
I like how the whole movie is like all these international governments like collaborated, and then there's this one and then there's like this American guy gives this one speech. Everyone's like, "Yeah, that's what America's all about," and then all the other countries are like, "Oh, I do not know if we should, how you say, let them in," and it's just like. It's very undercut, and they're all doing shit on Vizio laptops. I remember that so strongly. There's like a set of movies where like I was like, "Oh, Vizio's the future, man. That's awesome.
I think
We're all gonna be using a Vizio laptop
My dad
come
had
next
one of
decade." I had one of those too, and look where they are now.
I don't know what happened to them.
Vizio wishes the world had ended in 2012 so they could have stayed on top. Whatever, I don't know.
my favorite part about 2012 is the fact that the last line spoken in the film is "no more Pampers." Like the little girl stopped wearing her like diapers. Like, yeah, there's no more left. Good. I'm glad.
She's like, "Hey, Dad, I'm not pissing myself anymore," and it's like,
there's no more of those left to
"Good
to
for
wear.
you."
I'm sure that was probably a problem.
All right, so where do you stand on the question?
I'm gonna say strong. Well, I think there was so much talking. I have to say agree and not strongly agree. Yeah.
Okay.
Controlling inflation.
You know it's a touchscreen, right?
Oh,
It's a bit easier. Yeah.
it makes it sure fucking does. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment.
Oh fuck, dude, I don't know.
Yeah, this is like math. This is just like how do you long divide 512? Like I don't fucking like. Okay,
I don't know.
It's supposed to elicit reactions or fuck it. So here's me reacting. I think that if we're gonna say like really broadly, unemployment is probably a better predictor of well-being for people who don't have money saved up. Have you once paid attention to anything I've said on this show, or are you just making your own little fucking faces the
I'll be honest.
entire
No, hold on,
time?
let's talk about this. She points the camera at my face. I look at it to be funny. Megan needs to switch off of me in like 2 seconds. Because like I'll keep staring at it because that's the funny thing to do. But she just holds the angle, and I don't. Yeah, but like put it at him so I can break it.
But it's much more entertaining.
Okay.
Megan just likes testing people's will.
I feel like you guys are overthinking this question. It's not that.
What's your opinion?
Well, yeah, tell me, what do you think? Do you think unemployment is?
Understanding controlling inflation is that's what they should be doing.
So why do you say that?
Because unemployment. I mean,
Controlling inflation. Like, okay, let's think about it
the
this way.
reason people are unemployment
Controlling
is because
inflation
they
versus
lose their jobs.
controlling unemployment.
Because
Controlling
people are
unemployment. Well, how do you control unemployment?
You can't.
Can you control unemployment?
So these are all questions that are like, we're not talking prescriptive measures here. Like this, like, it's all theoretical. So it's like, would you try to engineer a policy that did one or did the other? Not how would you do it? I would say that for my political beliefs,
I
even
guess
though
inflation?
I'm tempted to go with inflation. For me, I think I'm going to say unemployment because I think unemployment means more to people who don't have any money saved up and therefore more broadly helps out
that's interesting.
a larger number of people. Inflation probably sucks when you're wage working, but I bet who it really hurts.
I agree with you.
I bet
That's a
who it
good
really
point.
hurts is people who have $100,000 that's now worth $60,000.
So like if you had solid, like you didn't have a lot of inflation, but you had really bad unemployment, it's that versus low unemployment but really bad inflation. Dude, you're kind of fucked in both scenarios, but I mean, you've made a better case than I can make for either of them, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with.
So hold on. So controlling inflation is more important. So disagree.
Yeah.
Right. We stand in the same place there.
Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation.
Strongly agree.
Strongly agree. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Sometimes I feel like I should spend more time talking about the things I like agree about, because it's like that's what people like. I agree.
Oh, I strongly disagree. Oh yeah, so I strongly disagree. No one wants to see. No one. Okay, no one's listening to this, but no one's going to listen to this because they want to hear you talk about all of, the things you think. It's much more fun when we find the things we disagree on, because then whether someone agrees or disagrees with you, they have a perspective from both sides, and it's fun to pretend
I
you're in the
agree.
argument.
It makes it a more useful, entertaining thing. I'm just saying in the sense of how internet marketing works. I love it. I love it when something agrees with me, dog. I'm not opposed to being disagreed with, but
I love
when
disagree.
shit supports my opinion.
But you don't like let's say you're listening to someone that you agree with, but then they start talking to someone who disagrees with both of you guys. You think that's less fun than just listening to the person you agree with go off? I think it's way more fun when there's
In this
This might just be I like arguing, whereas you like arguing less. So it might just be as simple as that.
I think I like arguing just as much as you. I just think I have two different views on how you can argue. I feel like you can be arguing to get to we both disagree, let's find our place in the middle, and you can be arguing to win. So I think you are great at arguing to win. I think.
Okay. I mean, I can't change. I'm not gonna argue with your opinion, but
never mind. You're shit at arguing to win, Zach.
I think there's okay. If you're having an argument off the bat, you should be arguing to try to persuade the other person to have your opinion, and then when you get to the point where neither party is swaying to the other side, then you should try to find your common ground. But I don't think inherently trying to find common ground off the bat is the way to go about it.
I fully disagree with you. I think there's in a good argument for me, there's an information gathering stage. So it's if you want to have a really productive argument, not if you want to argue with Stephen fucking Crowder, because those guys are never going to give you a chance. But if you want to have a really good argument with someone who you care about, my opinion, it's you do information gathering first. You're okay, what do you actually believe? Because I heard what you said and I felt how it rubbed up against me, but do I actually know what you think? Do you mean this or do you mean this? Because when you say, a lot of the time someone will say something so broad and people will default to the worst thing or default to the way that it rubs them wrong, when in reality there's a lot more information gathering. If you properly said everything you believed at first, you would have 95% agreement. So it saves that 95% agreement.
I'm just smiling because this is such a Russian nesting doll of a fucking conversation. We're arguing about arguing, and then this was the intertwining of entertainment and information. And it's just, dude, this whole thing is like a fucking Black Mirror episode. It's just this inside of this. It's very funny.
You know what? Oh, it's only because this is the last time I could derail. I just wrote a joke about Black Mirror, and you bring up Black Mirror, and it's you talk showed me, motherfucker. So it's
yeah, I heard you were watching a new show on television.
That's right. So Black Mirror, crazy show. How this works? You guys ever seen it? So it's called Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror, and every single episode. Have you watched it before?
I have a lot of streaming. The wife, she's been asking me to. This is my Conan O'Brien.
The old ball and chain, am I right?
Can I make a joke about how long my legs are? Is this the time for that kind of?
What's that?
Oh, sorry, I was doing a Conan O'Brien thing. He talked.
Oh no, I wasn't necessarily. No, but I get exactly what you're doing now. I was gonna
just do your Black Mirror joke.
But every time I watch Black Mirror, I just start the whole thesis for me is I know. Have you ever seen an episode of Black Mirror? It's always oh, what if we all rated each other online based on social media? That would be bad, huh? And it's yeah, It would. I knew that. You could have just said that and it would be like done. And then I like to imagine a version of Black Mirror where it's like technology bad, where it's like from the 1800s, it's like 1880, and it's like the last whale oil provider in town just like fighting against the scourge of the fucking Edison company. Yeah. Like, no, he's just like, light bulbs are destroying America. What if no one buys candles anymore? No? Okay.
No, sorry. Yeah, you're good. I was waiting for a moment to do a.
Is this the John Mulaney bit? Talk. Oh, my turn next.
No. I was trying. I feel like it didn't hit. I tried doing the. Who's the other guy that was like mean to his employees or something like that?
Ellen.
No, Ellen. Oh, not
Fallon?
Kimmel.
Something.
Kimmel.
Kimmel.
The guy who's like really excited. The guy who laughs too much.
Fallon.
Okay, Jimmy
Fallon,
Fallon.
it
yeah.
just came out that he was.
What
did they say?
goofy.
Good Jimmy days and bad Jimmy days. This is what I read in the article.
No, I think it's a perfectly fine premise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just being impassioned. That's a joke that works on a stage.
Yeah.
And less on a table.
It's hard to work a joke on a table.
That's like a Gilbert Gottfried. Like if you yell, it's kind of funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I definitely get where it's like, it's very much being in control of the crowd. It's yeah. Disagree? Controlling inflation is more important than control. Oh, wait, no, never
We're on
mind.
the next question, Doug.
Okay, yeah, because corporations, yeah, no, and we did that. We super duper agree on that one. From each according to his ability, to each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea.
No idea what that means. Literally,
Your
no
need
idea.
is a book, sucker. No, but so from each according to his ability, to each according to his need. So I think this is, and maybe someone should fact check me, but
You give what you can, and you're given what you need.
you give what you can and you're given what you need. So this is like a communist kind of like rallying call or something, some kind of Marxist ideology.
Each according to his ability, to each according to his needs.
So it's basically saying that you as a young 20-year-old man, Google it for context. I think it's saying that you as a young 20-year-old man should work a little harder to take care of the 50-year-olds in your society with the expectation that some other generation of 20-year-olds will come along and work to support you in your older age.
This means that you should contribute what you are capable of contributing, and that, excuse me, and that your needs should be addressed so as to fulfill such comforts as are available.
Yeah, exactly.
Bitch,
So
that's
you give what
also
you-
confusing.
You give what you can, so to the best of your ability. Like if you're old and you can't work very
According to
hard,
Marx, once a communist society has been established, it will produce enough goods and services so that everyone's needs can be satisfied. Even though the phrase is commonly attributed to Marx, he was not the first to use it. The slogan was common within the socialist movement. Okay, I think you guys are getting the point across.
Yeah, if I have two pizzas
What
and
a
you have
weird.
if I have the ability to make two pizzas and you have the ability to make 0 pizzas, we each get 1 pizza.
Is a fundamentally good idea. Sure.
In general, I'm wondering if it's strongly agree or agree. Like, does it go all the way up? Like, is there a situation?
No one can stop me. I'm all the way. So I was blasting that song before you guys got here.
it's basically
by Fat
like
Joe or
the
whatever.
opposite of the moral of the red little hen.
You are more confusing. What
You don't
does
remember
that
the little
mean?
red hen?
The little, yeah, they're little.
The little red hen. Okay, so Zach, let me take you a step. So there once was a little red hen who was going to bake a loaf of bread, and she had some grains.
we are
And she
40
goes over
minutes
to the
into this.
fox, and the fox says, and she says, "Will you help me grind these grains up so I can make some bread?" And the fox says, "Not I." And she goes over to the duck, and she asks the duck, "Will you grind over these grains?" So
Do you
I
have
can
any
make some bread?"
grapes?
She
No,
says,
sorry.
"Not I." And she goes over, the duck song.
So all these animals tell her, go fuck off.
All these animals tell her fuck off, and then she bakes this bread, and the animals are like, "Hey, that smells good. I'm hungry." And she's like, "You should have helped out, fuckers." And then she eats the whole loaf of bread.
That's capitalism.
That's capitalism. That's like, it's basically saying, fuck the little red hen. She had the ability to make that bread. All those other guys, they were just doing their own thing. They should get a slice.
But it's also the communism part would be that they should have helped her when
I was gonna say I feel like this is not a good analogy.
I was gonna.
This analogy is not adding up with the previous statements you were making.
I think it's So my view, I think everyone should get a slice so they're not hungry.
Hold on, no, I'm still talking about the little red hen. Do you still stand by that or no? That's a bad analogy, right?
What about stone soup? Is that a good analogy for this?
What the fuck are you talking about? You motherfuckers in your stories and your wise tales.
Everybody can contribute in stone soup. They're not giving it to somebody.
Except for the guy that just put the stone in the pot.
Okay, so you know,
How about this? If you're making soup and someone shows up without something and then he throws gravel into the soup, he doesn't get any soup. You've officially made the soup worse. You do not get soup. Like, you don't show up to a potluck, take a shit on the table, and then get to hang out.
my contributions to this evening are more metaphorical. So
No, like, if you don't have anything, it's fine, but don't take a shit on the potluck table just to say you did something. You know what I mean? Fuck that guy.
That's not how the story
Yeah, the end says that it tasted better because of the rock for some reason. I think it was lime.
It's
like-
definitely cocaine.
The
And they snorted
stone
it.
soup is just the Jesus and the fish story over again, in my opinion. It's just like, oh, and it was delicious. No, it fucking was. Like, oh, and just there was enough for everyone. No, there fucking
Bro,
wasn't. The whole
maybe-
thing is that everyone was like, I don't actually need that much. So when it got to the end of the line, no one had taken anything. That's the thing. It's not unlimited fish and bread free hack. So
Maybe
same
he
thing.
brought weed. They smoked the weed, and then the soup was better because
Zach, you sound like your mom.
I am half of her. So yeah, duh.
Zach, you said like the original title was Rock Soup, and it was a Dave Chappelle sketch.
Oh really? It wasn't a. Are you joking?
Fully joking.
Okay.
I was
I was
making-
about to be upset.
I was making a crack cocaine joke.
I did that a second. Okay, whatever. I did a cocaine. Never mind. Not a crack cocaine.
Can we,
All right.
can we
Anyways,
answer the question?
the fruit. Well, I but strongly agree
I
because I like that fundamental a lot. Now,
I'll just try.
I disagree in certain scenarios, but neither
I thi-
here nor there. This is about getting your gist. This isn't about being super.
the freer the market, the freer the people.
I disagree.
Strongly disagree. Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
capitalism.
Jesus.
I mean, I just
See,
think-
like that. That is annoying. You know what I mean?
We're so
I-
Zachary.
Megan, here's the thing. I agree. It's annoying when you're like, fuck capitalism. Like, chill the fuck out, dude.
I'm not.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I wonder, like,
I find protesters usually annoying. And once again, this just comes down to me being chill as fuck. And like, I get it. Sometimes like violence is necessary.
here, can we
But-
get a flashback for the quote chill as fuck? Can we just get like a little clip of like you're saying you stack 100 people up high? No, fuck you. Can we get like a little flashback? Like, and maybe it's just because I'm chill as fuck.
You're right. I was bullshit. I'm sorry. I just lied to you. I just pulled that out of my ass. I'm like the least chill person in this fucking room.
Friendship needs to be based on trust.
I broke trust. We can rebuild, Julian. We can rebuild from this. It's okay. It's a wound.
It's
We
not a
can come
scar.
back. It's not a scar.
Bro, you just put some vitamin E oil on that shit because it's gonna fade. Nope. Stretch marks tip. Okay. Never mind. I'm just saying, who's looking for tips on stretch marks? Women. Right here.
Read the question, Julian.
It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled, branded consumer product.
It's sad. It's a sad reflection.
See,
on
this
our
is the type
society.
of question that is like, it's so opinionated in its nature that you're just gonna be like, motherfucker, I get thirsty sometimes and I didn't bring a water bottle, okay?
It's a sad reflection on our society. I think it's funny, but I don't think it's inherently sad. Now, the way I look, I'm paying for the convenience. I could have filled up a bottle at my house for like 5 cents. You know what I mean? I'm stoked that there's someone standing over there with bottles in an ice chest for me so that I don't have to do that.
Not everybody has like clean tap water.
Yeah, that is the thing.
That's not what it's
Well,
saying.
that's the part about it that makes it sad to me is like you don't have clean tap water, so the solution is to sell you like gallons of bottled water from the store every day. Like that's bullshit.
Okay, let's say that everyone had access to as much water as they wanted. I'd still want a motherfucker at the top of the mountain with cold water so that I like don't have to carry it up there sometimes. Or like let's say I go to I don't know, a parade, and I'm like, oh shit, I ran out of water. Like,
they're not saying you're a bad person for wanting water bottles.
I don't think that's what they're saying.
The water bottles should be free because it's a basic human right
I don't-
to have water.
Thank you.
That's basically what they're saying is you shouldn't have to pay for water.
Bottled branded consumer product.
okay, let's say that they had water fountains everywhere, and then there was also a dude selling it in a bottle. I think you should be able to sell a bottle. I don't think a bottle
Yeah, but the
inherently should
water
be
bottle-
free.
But the water fountain should be accessible.
Sure.
Yeah.
So let's say we live in a world with water fountains. Is it sad that there's a dude selling bottles to put the water in?
I think you
if,
guys-
like let's say you go to the beach and you can play in the sand for free. There's a dude that's going to sell you a bucket. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think you
So
guys
is that sad?
are on two halves of the exact same
One of them's
question.
a basic need and the other is a plaything.
I'm okay.
but-
I'm using
It's like I don't think
Whatever, you know?
neither of us is arguing that like luxury, like let's say that like having a nice Avion water is your absolute favorite thing in the world. No one's saying like we should take that favorite thing away from you. I think this is a two-part question. Like, is it sad? It's like, is it sad that just this happens? I think is kind of what you're arguing more. And is it sad that we like live in a system that promotes this kind of behavior? That
How about
says
this? How about
to
this?
you,
Is it sad? Fuck, I cut you off. I need to do this. Is it sad that something as basic as water is drinking water is now a bottled branded consumer product, or is it sad that some people don't have access to clean drinking water? I think it's sad that people don't have access to clean drinking water. I don't think it's sad that someone sells it in a bottle. They can go fuck
it's
themselves. I think the
sad.
thing that is sad is that some people don't have water.
The sad thing is that some people don't have water, and you care about the difference of Dasani versus Evian.
I
or
like the
something
nipple
like
bottles.
that.
What if there was
I like
a-
Aquafina,
but
baby.
there
I'm
should be,
Aquafina
like, a
all the way.
free bottle of water, right? And then you can have your brands. But there should be like a basic.
What is water fountains?
Well,
how about no plastic?
It's like
That's why I buy those. Remember we were joking about those bottles that are made out of 100%. That's why I buy those ones, is because they're made out of recycled
But, like,
plastic.
literally
After COVID,
just
there aren't
answered
really
a
any
question
water
about whether or not you like capitalism, and then this question is about.
No,
capitalism.
you guys
I
are
think
making
it's-
this about whether or not it's like this is almost like George Orwell, like dystopian. Like, isn't it kind of fucking weird that like we're selling something as it'd be like in like the Lorax when they're selling air. Like that feels
Yeah.
weird. You know what I mean?
It is a little. That's exactly what they're trying to make.
Right, but the sad thing isn't that they're selling air. The sad thing is that they're selling air and that all the like free air is fucked up.
so.
Like if they were just Julian brought compressed water to the show one time. It's not like sad that they sell compressed water. It's not sad that like you can take a hit, like you climb.
Can we play a
mount-
clip? It's not sad.
I'm not
Clip. It's dumb as fuck. It's not sad. It's just
Lorax hates
every
you.
insult.
No, but like, is it
I
sad?
think you might have brought up the Lorax
Yeah,
when
I did, I did.
stuff too.
Yeah, I did. Oh, it's in the fucking clip. It's
in-
the
yeah,
Lorax
it's
hates you or some
immortalized.
shit. I said the Lorax, you fucking suck. But like, some people like that live in Los Angeles and Shanghai have shitty air conditions, shitty air, like the air is polluted and shit, right? But when motherfuckers climb Mount Everest, they have bottled oxygen that they breathe in. It's not sad that there's a branded bottled thing of air that people can buy when they want to buy it. It's sad that we have cities that are so polluted that motherfuckers are getting sick, right?
It's sad that someone would rather spend like $1. I mean, in theory, theoretically, it's sad that someone would rather spend $1 more on their favorite bottle of water than they would $1 more on coffee to make sure it was ethically grown. Like, I don't know, something like this. But Zach, I think I'm starting to agree with you. Like, it more in the sense
We the
that,
people,
like,
baby.
so water, and like I hate those science-y guys who are like the way things are, but it's like, what was so free before we bottled and commodified water? Was it that we used to drink it out of a puddle that also had malaria in it? Like, I'm not trying to be like elitist or like, oh, we should like it's the right thing, because I definitely agree with all the like anti-capitalist like bullshit consumerism points, like, and it's also so bad for the environment to ship water in bottles. Like there's 1,000 reasons to hate bottled water, but like in terms of like it's sad, like no, it's great that we have water that's like always safe to drink that won't make you shit yourself to death. Like scientifically, I don't think we can ignore that.
Water around
Cool.
here used to be clean.
When? Like, I mean, yeah, sure. Like, I mean, like, when? What water are you talking about?
1766,
I hate to be Zack.
1776,
We didn't get
brother.
enough of this. Was that rivers and okay?
Rivers do have potable water, but that's not the
Rivers do
Potable.
have potable water, but not
I don't actually know.
bacteria resistant. You can still get worms from drinking river water.
You shouldn't drink river water.
You shouldn't drink.
When it's flowing
You
from a
can boil. Yes, like
I think it's better.
I mean, fair enough. I'm the one who brought it to.
Bear Grylls says boil river water.
I'm the one who brought it to this Neolithic ass perspective, so I totally agree with
I think
you.
it was
like,
Megan.
No, he was saying puddles have malaria.
Oh,
They
never
don't
mind.
have
You were in the
water.
wrong.
That was
Fuck
me.
you.
That was me.
How dare you talk to my? No, I'm kidding. This is my Julian Thompson impression. How dare you? No, fuck you. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
How many questions are left? You gotta do a speed run.
Oh my god. This is so-
Oh, we're fine. I mean, I don't know when you guys have to leave, but there's. Here's the thing. Some of them we're gonna talk about. Some of them we don't really have to talk about.
Let's
But,
see.
Okay, so on sad reflection.
I'm gonna say
I'm gonna say
agree.
this. I'm gonna say wait. What? It's you agree?
Strong. It is.
You said you agreed. Oh, you cunt.
So like, I think
Julian, just say what you're gonna do. You don't have to explain yourself. It's okay.
with considering the world that we live in now as like computers and shit, like yeah, I can fucking just agree to that. I don't have to be avoiding malaria-ridden puddles.
Julian, you're reading the question backwards.
Land.
It's a sad reflection on society. You're saying yes, you agree. It's a sad reflection on
I am
society.
saying I slightly.
You think it's not sad, so you would say you disagree.
No. I'm saying.
So you agree that it's sad.
I'm saying I agree that it's sad.
That goes against everything you just said, but whatever.
That doesn't
Moving
go
on.
against all that I just said. All that we're just said is we're just talking. I think in general, I still do think it like the commodification is sad about it. I still think the commodification is sad.
Okay. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. Should not. I disagree. I like buying land.
I don't own any land.
I like the fact that I can someday.
It's so.
Because I'm a temporarily embarrassed millionaire. It's a joke. Have you not heard that phrase?
I haven't heard that phrase.
Oh, it's like the thing of like you can't tax the rich like because someday I'm gonna be rich.
Yeah.
And so yeah, but no.
Oh,
I was making a joke.
Yes, I see.
So I think it
You're
should,
the billionaire who started from the bottom and just working their way back up there now.
more of like sure, whatever. It's good.
Yeah,
enough.
you're
I don't
Mark
need to
Cuban
express.
if his parents hadn't been rich. I'm assuming.
I don't know.
This question is so land is a commodity shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. It like goes so far back in our history, like the way that land worked in like feudal era, where it's like yes, I think it's good that more people can own land. So in general, yes, I think it's good that land can be bought and sold instead of just conquered. You know, like that was the old way of buying and selling land, and now we cut it up into little plots and buy it like.
I think what you're going to come down to,
yes,
Julian,
it-
you think property should be bought and sold, but you probably think that
I-
a lot of property shouldn't be held vacant to artificially increase rent prices. There's things you can disagree with the way that land is bought and sold, and still think that land should be bought and sold.
Yeah,
just differently.
land should be bought and sold,
good.
or land can be bought and sold. I'm fine with it. We haven't come up with a better system.
We haven't acted on a better system.
We haven't acted on a better system. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing in our society. It
is
to their
regrettable.
society.
I strongly agree.
I also strongly agree.
Says the man who's kidding. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. What does that mean?
So protectionism
Like some
is
mob
like
shit?
protectionism
Protection.
is like the
20%
U.S.
off the top.
says if you mess with Canada, we're coming for you.
Protectionism
Like
is
Canada
sometimes
has
necessary
no
in trade.
protectionism is the U.S. saying if you attack any NATO country, it's your ass, pal.
I'm gonna say I agree, not strongly agree. Just because I'm a little confused, but that's okay.
I don't live.
Sometimes it's very easy to agree to.
I don't live in a country that's protected. Like, I really don't want to go into the news. Like, I'm really not going to, but it like that. I certainly think about the news when I think about like protectionist states.
Give me an example.
Well, I am in referencing
Israel?
the horrible, all the stuff happening in Israel right now, which we shouldn't talk about because it's too fresh. It's too.
Hey,
too human.
the last 2 episodes, we had a member of the Jewish media. No, I'm kidding.
We're not going to talk about
Let
that.
me
But,
make,
like,
that really makes you uncomfortable?
it's so fresh, man. No, we should like people are really dying and no one knows what to think. I was talking about it with Lily all day, but it's like
You don't know what to think?
I think, man.
You don't want to say it's bad.
Do I not want to say like? Yes, I think the people that are dying and getting killed are horribly bad. I'm just saying we shouldn't open it up to the debates of nuances on it yet.
Okay, I don't want to make
The fact that people are dying is horrible. But so protectionism is sometimes a necessary trait. I guess I'm so entrenched in a world. I don't know what it's like to live in a protected state. Like, I don't know if I lived in a NATO country, if I would feel like the U.S. protecting me from Russia. Well, okay, we do live in it. Fair enough. But like
Endangered NATO country.
an endangered, one of the
weak
NATO
bitches.
one of the fucking mooching NATO countries.
50%, baby. 50% military budget. Woo. Okay, sorry.
50%. Yeah, I'm gonna say agree. Protectionism is sometimes necessary because I guess I'm still a bit of a
Sometimes
realist.
it's easy enough.
The only societal responsibility of a company should be
Social.
What?
The only social responsibility.
The only social responsibility of a company should be deliver a profit to its shareholders. Strongly agree.
The only social responsibility of a company.
Companies are amoral to me. Like companies are whatever the system allows them to be. So it's like I don't like whenever a company like that's like whenever you like your reaction to people feeling strongly about things, that's me whenever a company has a mission statement. Like it's like our mission is to improve the world through technology and or to make a lot of money. Yeah. Like it should be like, oh, we like, our mission is to like improve space exploration through bioengineering, or it's to sell the company for $50 million. I don't care. So like that's how I feel about when companies have a mission. Companies are amoral. So I strongly agree.
Yeah. I think that
that's why they need to be regulated.
The
They're
logic
amoral.
I played in my head is that the company's job is to make money and it's the government's job to stop them from doing fucked up shit. In the
Totally,
process, yeah. The rich are too heavily taxed. Disagree.
Strongly disagree.
Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards. Disagree. Let's go through.
Medical care.
Should be a checkbox that just says I live in Seattle. Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. Agree.
Yeah, strongly agree.
A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator mutilate. What the fuck? I can't read that. Mutilationists? Jesus, I'm retarded. Sorry, shouldn't say. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationalists to create. What the?
You know what? I'm gonna have my buddies back. I struggled to read that one for a second. I was pausing. I was gonna come in with it's multinationals, you idiot. And in my head, I was like, muletan. Like it's.
A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of. So then I guess the answer is no.
So I would
Requires
say strongly
restrictions?
agree. So a genuine free. So for a market to be free to you. So for example, you're someone who needs insulin every day. For the market to be free, you need insulin prices to be controlled because otherwise your whole market is just buying insulin for whatever the company sets it at.
But isn't the idea of a free market is that you don't have any regulations?
So
and if monopolies happen, they happen.
It is saying.
Isn't that the idea of a free...
I think that's kind of the American, like the new narrative. We are basically saying.
I think what
this question is saying is. So I think that's what the word genuine means is what is actually going to be what is going to lead to the most number of free people with the largest amount of free capital.
You don't think genuine means like I don't think genuine means like
I think
good-hearted or like good intention. I think
what they're
genuine
saying
means
by
like bare,
genuine-
clean. Like, what is the most like pure version of this? Like pure communism, pure capitalism, pure free market, most genuine, most real.
I think that's probably why this question exists, maybe to get at what we interpret freedom as. So I guess it's like, do you interpret freedom as
a free market is a term.
as freedom from rules, as freedom from restrictions, or as in freedom to do the most actions? Because I think
That's an interesting. I would have never
so
looked
I
at it
think
like
the
that.
freest market enables someone. So, like I was saying, the person who needs insulin, that person will experience a freer market if insulin is cheaper, because then they will then be able to, instead of spending every single penny that they earn on insulin or on debt payments to repay insulin, they will then be able to pay, $20 for insulin and spend the rest of their money on things that they want, commodities that they think are valuable in that free market sense. So in the free market sense, where businesses flourish because people have available capital to invest in what they believe is most going to be most advantageous to them, I think a free market is best fostered by a government that places restrictions on certain companies to stop you from gouging. Because you can't live in a free market if you spend all of your money on power and medical bills.
May I read the definition of a free market?
No, because I understand where Julian's coming from. It's the difference of I'm looking at it from like what is the most pure amount of a free market, and Julian's looking at it from like I don't really see your logic, but
what in effect makes the individual feel the freest? What in effect makes the average individual the freest?
But what would make the average person have the most maneuverability in an economy would be a less free market, because you're putting restrictions so that fucked up people can't do fucked up things.
Well,
therefore, more like normal people can do more things.
No, but
that's
that
stopping.
terminology. It's that terminology you're getting hung up on. It's I'm sorry for interrupting, but it's that terminology of free market, of just what does that mean to you? Does a free market mean a market with the least restrictions, the most like Wild
I think there
West
is a
type
definition of a
place?
free market.
Well-
I would like to read it.
I think that it's like saying communism or capitalism.
We've
It is a
argued
thing.
it. We went back to arguing over it. Let's hear what Megan has to say.
Okay, I'll just read what the definition Google gives for a free market, okay? I don't think that's necessary, Zachary. A free market, an unregulated system of economic exchange in which taxes, quality controls, quotas, tariffs, and other forms of centralized economic interventions by government either do not exist or are minimal. So none of that stuff would be in your.
So I'm not saying that free market is good, but by like it being a word that means a certain thing.
Yeah.
In the way that we all use it. So I think we're just getting in the way that we all use it, like match the definition to the way most people in America see a thing. Yes, I think you are correct. I think we're debating
You're making
over
your own definition.
You're totally correct about like how would someone on CNN or MSNBC or Fox News define a free market? Probably like what Megan just defined it as, or somewhere close. What I'm saying is the market that leaves its average participant the freest is one that has restrictions.
Okay.
Abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal.
We know where we stand on these.
Yeah, strongly disagree.
All authority should be-
always keep 600. Did you not say that to me at one point? Never
Always
mind.
keep 600. Oh.
Never below 600, boys.
Got that A credit card, you know what
I'm
I'm
on the
saying?
West Coast. Never below 600, guys.
I don't know how much an abortion costs, but that's the joke. All authority should be
I
questioned.
feel like it's okay. Yeah, we looked it up for the 600 joke.
Oh, did we?
All authority should be questioned. Yep.
An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. What the fuck does that mean?
That's from the Bible.
Jesus Christ. God, this is like the Amazing Race. What the fuck? An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. What's with all the stories and fables?
You've never heard an eye for an eye?
No. Okay, I've heard an eye for an eye, but like, and a tooth for a tooth.
Yeah, that's the end of the quote.
But like, what is it asking?
Do you agree?
Okay.
It's not. That's not like.
If Julian punched
Sorry to
you-
get so Hammurabi on all you guys.
If Julian punched you in the face, do you think it's right to punch him back? Like,
It's saying
Sometimes.
the original law is, I think like one of the original things for it is, you lit my house on fire and my daughter died in the house fire. So should we kill your daughter as a punishment to you? Is basically what that's saying. It's
So sometimes.
well, it's like punitive justice versus what would you call it? Punitive justice versus restorative I don't know. But it's basically like, should we get revenge on people for the sake of revenge to like appease to, or is it better if
Sometimes.
so you would you
saying
say
agree.
agree or disagree?
Agree, but not strongly agree. Because sometimes.
I'm going to say strongly disagree.
Strongly?
Strongly, as it leaves the whole world blind.
Motherfucker, if I slapped you in the face.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I would totally slap you back.
So sometimes, at least say agree. Or sorry, at least say disagree. Because in some scenarios, if I eat your sandwich, you're gonna be like, Zach, give me your fucking sandwich. You're not gonna like be like,
This is about politics, not sandwiches.
this is about the Bible, apparently.
No, so it's like, I guess what I'm saying is, and you make a good point. It's like, if you eat my sandwich, then it's like, okay, well, we each have a sandwich. You ate mine, so the most fair outcome is obviously I get yours.
Or if
right?
you walk out with like a plate of chicken tenders and I fucking slap at you, you're gonna be like, bitch, go
I
find me more
guess
chicken
what
tenders.
I am fundamentally disagreeing with is kind of on the other side of the spectrum, which is,
So don't say strongly, just say
well,
disagree.
it's more saying like,
'Cause sometimes-
if you accidentally light my house on fire through like ignorance and stupidity, but still accidentally, should I be able to then purposefully with malice light your house on fire?
There are sometimes,
You know,
Julian.
in any other-
Sometimes. That's why I'm saying. I'm not saying you're wrong, because I'm in the middle. I could say agree or disagree, and I technically
Well,
be
I
agreeing
guess
with
it's more
myself.
like I'm looking more into what the question is asking, which is, and again, what I think the question is asking, which is, should justice be punitive or should it be like ameliorative?
See, okay, Julian, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind, right? But a
Yes.
tooth for a tooth, you still got like 25 of those motherfuckers. So in some situations, it's okay. We can still chew.
That, Zach, honestly, that's like a great quote.
That's pretty good.
Like, you convinced me.
Woo! Let's go!
That's such a good quote. You convinced me in one.
I was gonna say, like, honestly, Julian, I think this is the first time that you actually, like, took the quiz's advice and just went with your gut, which was just your opinion. Like, you guys keep on doing semantics when you both read the disclaimer saying don't fucking do that.
This is entertainment.
This is semantics.
Are you
the
not
podcast,
entertained, Lily?
Yeah.
People have 32 teeth. I thought that was wrong.
I said you still got 20. I wanted to say 35. Honestly, if I'm being completely, I would have said 35.
The
It sounded like too much. I'm not a dentist. Okay.
I just want you to know.
I knew there were at least 25. Apparently, that's what I said, right?
Yeah.
I knew there were at least 25.
30 though.
Maybe these are two
This guy's missing his
Alabamians.
wisdom teeth.
I actually still have mine.
I don't.
I went to the dentist and she was like, "Wow, your head's big enough that you could probably keep these your whole life if you take care of them." And I was like, "Excuse me?
Great, babe.
Don't tell me my fucking jaw's big. You
Well, I'm just saying.
Motherfucker. All right, let's move on.
you've got 2 more molars to take a fat
not 4?
cock in your mouth, Zach.
you don't have 2. You don't
No,
have 4.
You have 4. You have 4, babe. You have 4 wisdom.
I'm saying
Means I'm wiser than you. I'll be honest. I do when I touch my wisdom teeth with my tongue.
I don't know.
It
I
would
don't know
feel
what
weird
I was,
to not
I
have
guess
them.
I was thinking 2 molars deep, but that's also wrong. So
Let's go. Taxpayers should be expected to prop up any theaters or
should
museums.
not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial basis.
Should not be expected to.
Can
Sure.
the Smithsonian survive if they don't get enough ticket sales? and people still like is the need to people for people to learn greater than the need for them to make money?
So I'm looking at it from when I look at the word expected is weird. I think that it should be voted on like everything else.
Zachary, can you stop scrolling it? Please?
Oh fuck, sorry, that's
Thank
right.
you.
I'm bad dog.
But like,
Sorry, okay, hold on, Megan. You know how I was talking about my toe between the scarf and the door frame? Okay, in this situation, I have a weird need to line it up perfectly between
motherfucker
agree and
was
strong
complaining
agree.
about
You
an
see
eye
that?
for an eye, and I have to contend with my toe
don't know
between
what
a
you're
scarf and a
talking
door
about.
frame.
So yeah, but okay, you see the black thing at the top where it says agree and strongly agree?
Yeah.
I feel I have a need to line it up perfectly
Okay, now
between those
leave it
two
there.
words. Right, but I'm just explaining that was a perfect like real world example of like the weird, like when you see me doing weird shit with my eyes, I don't know. I need to do it. And in that scenario,
No one else knows what you're talking about.
this is fine. This
at
is
all.
important for our relationship. This show can go on hold for a second. Okay? This goes above the other end of the candle. This is the other end of my life. Okay? All right.
You know what, Lily? While we're working things out,
You
on
put a real
camera,
bitch. Okay, I'm joking. Okay, Julian, should they pay?
Definitely. I think knowledge and collective human understanding is well worth what people pay. So, yeah, in the world where we're all expected to pay for...
Sorry.
We're all expected to pay for the military, so yes.
Ooh, good point.
We're all
keep doing
always going to, in every tax-paying day until we die, be expected to pay for the military or social
I think
services.
we're expected to pay whatever we voted on paying for, and we can argue
In political science,
whether or not
there are 5 essential functions,
Oh,
but there are
Jesus
really
Christ.
just 2. And
Sorry.
the 2 are internal security and external security.
Okay, all I'm saying is that we can argue
no,
all
wait.
day long about how we vote, whether or not
I
the
got
way
that
we
wrong.
vote is
Security's
efficient.
just 1, but
We can argue all day long about how the voting is or isn't good or bad. I don't think there's anything that's inherently expected of us, except maybe like the well-being of our fellow man or something.
my political science, political science totally disagrees with you there, but I agree with your point semantically. I just think we're all like death and taxes. So in the world where taxes are definitely collected from us, yes, they should definitely be going towards the museum as well.
Okay. Schools should not make classroom attendance what does that
Compulsory, like
mean? Necessary, mandatory?
mandatory, basically mandatory.
Why not say that?
Because it doesn't mean the exact. Compulsory means like you
You'll go to
really
jail.
should, no, compulsory is like you should, or else you might get a fine, or else we might make the police like. Yeah, whatever.
Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory.
Disagree. Strongly disagree. You should always, in my opinion, you should always like. There are systemic things that make teaching in
I think bad
schools
things happen
bias.
if you don't.
I think in general,
not
knowledge
make-
is good, and it's so good that it kind of overwhelms a lot of the bias that institutions have.
It also creates
So,
a
I
system
say
where
disagree.
it equals out the playing field, because if people didn't require their kids to go to school, then they oftentimes get put to work.
Exactly. Kids don't have any rights, so if the government doesn't say you have to go to school, then parents will say, "Oh, well, you could go to school or you could work in my factory." Yes.
Bob's Burgers. all people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. What the fuck? All people, dude. Some of these
There's
are
a
like.
couple of these.
Some of these are like, do you think that if someone burns your house down, we should burn their house down? How do you feel about minorities? Okay. All people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind.
I can't think of a lot of situations where, like, the only situations where I can think.
The ad is
Yeah, you're gonna have to read the next one, dog. There's like a pop-up that's fucking me.
It's a secret question.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
Good.
nope, never mind.
Good parents sometimes have to spank their children.
Good parents sometimes have to spank their children.
Have to? It's in the word have to
Oh,
that
have
makes
to?
me go strongly disagree.
Well, yeah, but it also says sometimes. So like it's kind
Well,
of
it's
a
like-
double
It
negative.
has to. It's saying like, is it ever right?
You sometimes is it ever right? I've met
Not-
kids that need to be hit.
Not
Yes.
is it ever, well, no, but it's
Agree.
like that phrase need to be hit. It undercut, like, yes.
It's
if-
saying sometimes need to be hit.
So if hitting were this thing that made you better behaved, even though it really hurt, then yes, I would say that. But that's not statistically shown to be the case.
I've met some psychopaths.
Yeah, but hitting them doesn't make them better.
That's because they were hit.
All they know is violence.
Because
Exactly.
their dad only taught them violence.
It's okay. We're not gonna have kids.
It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possession of marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense.
Hell yeah.
The prime function of schooling
out
should
to
be to
Sharon.
equip the
I
future
don't know if you-
generation
yeah, I don't know if
to
you have-
find jobs. The prime function of schooling should be to equip the prime function
The prime function of schooling
What
should
else?
be to equip the future generation to find
culture.
jobs.
So like what else can school be for? Like to find a
Social
job, to culture, where like kind of culturize someone. But should culturizing be more important than making them applicable? I don't think so. I think
Like,
I'd say I agree.
well,
Socializing
I guess the
children.
Right. But what is like? Does that is it more important to like be
Socializing?
cultured and be socialed, or like have them have a path in life so they can be successful?
well, it's like you're looking at that
So
one.
like when you say prime,
I
like,
guess
the one
I'm
thing is,
thinking-
like
Was
if
art
you
class valuable
so
to you?
I'm thinking
yeah,
about
but math was probably more valuable.
well, I'm
You know
thinking
what I
about like higher education too. Like I think you have to think about like whether or not there are like I don't know if so it's better for the economy in some ways if someone just learns how to become a mechanic. But it's better for the economy in other ways if someone learns how to invent a new thing. So it's like I think that training people just on the basis of making you ready for a job can sometimes limit the other creative, amazing things that people will come up with.
The job
if you
can
just
be
let them
inventing
train
things,
for their
Julian.
passion.
No, they can't.
Yeah,
Well,
I can.
So I'm saying when
You're
you
working for someone.
when you train someone with the goal of making them fit for a job, you limit your perspective to only the jobs that currently exist right now.
Okay.
So
So
basically,
there's no more job inventing.
if you say that education should be the priority, that education will lead to new jobs. But if you say job searching should be the priority, then people are generally going to stick within a realm of jobs that already exist rather than inventing new ones.
To find jobs. The prime function of schooling should be okay. So
So I guess in my view, the prime function of schooling is to advance your state or your society. So
To
it's
do
to
what?
advance your country. So the prime function of schooling
is to advance your state or country to do
is
what?
to advance your state or country into a realm where, in general, like to advance your state or country to invent the iPhone or to invent electric vehicles
Okay.
or to invent solar power. That's what's valuable.
And some
not
people go to school to work in a scientific environment, and then they get funding from the government where their job is
well,
to
I guess
research
if
something.
you keep it as vague as scientific, like
That is a job.
scientist
People
is
go
a
to
job.
school for that. To be a mechanical engineer, to work on cutting edge technology, that is a job.
Well, no,
Like, if you're gonna say that like some people should be an entrepreneur and start a company, sure. But there's only so many people that start something, and there's way more people that will work with those people to advance whatever it is that they're working on. So I mean, like,
But that's not the prime function of schooling. That's not what it should be made for.
Well, I'm not trying to talk in like
Why?
not even in a moral way. Like for the advancement of society, like what leaves you with a pointier, bigger stick to kill the other guy?
what?
I'm just talking about in a very essentialist way. I think schooling is for the advancement of humanity rather than for the advancement of yourself. So I think rather than going to school to learn how to
Did you go to college to advance your society, or did you go to college so you could try to get a job?
In college, and I think this is slightly from, being like privileged going into college, but I didn't think I was going to turn political science into a job right off the bat. I learned about it because I
right
liked
off the
it.
bat, but what's your
Well, okay, so I
your
guess
goal is to use that knowledge because you want to take that path in life, right?
My primary-
Hopefully being able to earn a living going down that path in life, using that in some way, right?
Well, I mean, so I would say that when you say earning, so broadly, yes. Let me get to the specifics. So, like, broadly, yes, it was with a job in mind. I was inspired to study political science because my favorite comedians are Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert, who were always my heroes growing up, and they were very political comedians. So I always thought that I want to learn about politics, so I have the tools to talk about politics like them. I don't think it's fair to say that, like, so yes, it was for a job. The job is Stephen Colbert's job, and there's one of those.
And that is a job.
I think that's where you and I are differentiating is it is a job, but it's like, I think what the question is more asking is, should we have more people going to school with the idea of being mechanics than going to school with the idea of being Stephen Colbert's? Because to me, a satirist like that, a satirist like that advances society. Yeah.
Sure, by doing a job.
Oh my god, you guys aren't gonna.
Okay. I think we're just debating over like.
No, it's
yes, everything's a job.
Question.
Everything's a job, but I think that, like, when you make up a job, like, I want to be Stephen Colbert, that's not saying I want this job. That's saying I want to do the same things that he does. I want to act in the same vein that this person who I really look up to does. That kind of thing.
That statement didn't make sense to me, but it's okay. People with serious you read. Hurry.
People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce.
Yo, we had a whole argument about this with with you. Weren't you here didn't we argue about incest on this? Oh, that was with my fucking family. Did we not have this conversation off camera?
Hi, Lily. What's up?
I thought we did. You mentioned.
I feel like we did. Either way, I think the answer is no. But we did have a conversation about it. People with serious should not be allowed to reproduce. Disagree.
Strongly disagree.
Yeah, I guess I strongly disagree.
Not be allowed. Like, that's fucked up.
I mean, dude, to be honest, there are some people that have kids and their kids, my mom knows this person, so I'm not pulling this out of my ass. Their genetic, like, when this certain woman and this certain man have a kid, they are genetically predisposed
Yep.
to have, Megan, do you know who I'm talking about?
The wheelchair lady?
Oh, no, she's not in a wheelchair. Her daughter was,
I don't think, did we meet them in California?
No, she died. The daughter died. No, we didn't meet them in California. No. I shouldn't even talk about this. I mean, there are some people that will have kids and their genetics do not blend well, and it's fucking sad.
Well, so I've thought.
And once again, I think the government's a weird person to tell you that you shouldn't have kids, but like morally speaking, there's some scenarios where it's like, dude, it's fucked. I'll tell you about it off air, but it's fucked.
I don't think they're talking about genetic dispositions like that. Like, they're not saying like these two people found out that their baby would be predisposed with this. They're saying that two people that are intellectually disabled could not raise a child.
Like two people with Down syndrome?
I don't think they're talking about.
I wouldn't know. I was thinking like being suicidal or something.
Disability. I would confine it to like your disability as well. I would broaden it to that.
Fair enough.
So it's like, do you?
But is that a
Which should not be.
Inheritable?
I think it sure can be, but I think we talked about it on
people
the podcast.
Should not be allowed to. I think that's a weird line to draw.
Like, should not be allowed to gets me strongly disagree. Like, and well,
don't we all have something?
Well,
fucked up?
I go back. So it's like we all have something a little fucked up, right? Like my parents, like,
serious?
Was it immoral of them to have a fat child? Like,
that's not an inheritable disability.
It kind of is.
Maybe it is. Okay, I'm not going to speak on your.
Well, sort of is. Your parents look like how you look. That's inheritable. But, like, I think that it's like, yeah, it goes down too slippery of a slope for me. Like, I know that that's like a weird term, but it's like you can't have people telling other people like what to do reproductively.
The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline.
Strongly disagree.
That's a weird thing. I'm going to say the most important thing for children
to learn.
Like,
just for the most important thing?
Accept discipline. What is accept? Oh,
it's
the
an
most
authoritarian question.
That is a weird, the most important thing.
The most important thing makes me disagree right off the bat. Like, strongly disagree right off the bat.
Accept discipline. What does that mean?
Understand when they're in trouble that they did something wrong and they accept the punishment.
The most important thing. I'm going to say disagree because I would need to think about other things that's important for a child to learn.
Math. Like, right. like not shoving like 1,000 things in front of authority.
Not getting burned.
Accepting discipline. But like also,
Okay, so like,
It's such a vague term.
It's
so like,
actually
let's
another
just
question
all
for you.
say things, and you say more or less important than accepting discipline, like avoiding fire.
Avoiding fire.
Avoiding fire.
Like you're talking about like your house is on fire, don't get burned
my
by
Like
fire.
anything is on fire, don't touch it.
Don't touch it. Well, dude,
Oh my
Lily's
God,
sitting in front of a fireplace. It's fun to fuck with fire.
Okay,
I think what you're asking is like, don't touch the
think-
hot stove. Is that what you're asking?
I'm saying
Is it more important for a child to learn that when you touch a hot stove you get burned than to accept that when you're grounded you can't question it because a father knows best?
I don't think that's necessarily like when
That
you
is
when
the
you when you
question.
think about being disciplined, you think about holding yourself accountable for like if you say you're going to go to the gym, you have to be
yourself
disciplined
is a
about it.
different is a totally different animal in my opinion.
The most
I
important
don't
thing.
think other
Listen,
peop-
I already said I
Well, fair
disagree.
enough.
I'm
I
just
just don't
saying
think
that
other
my mind
people-
doesn't immediately it makes me think about it.
Well, when you say accepting, so like being disciplined is a different thing from accepting punishment
Has
from
to
authority.
accept discipline.
So it's like,
Accept this. I'm getting hung up on what the fuck that means. Let's just move on.
all right.
There are no savage and civilized peoples. There are only different cultures. Jesus
Strongly
Christ.
agree.
Wait, there are no savages.
There are no savage and civilized people. So as if, yeah, there's no one who is inherently
I got you.
disposed.
Some of these are like SAT questions. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support.
Like that question comes loaded with a lot of like implicit things, like how much are you choosing? Like what's a choice? Like, cause I've known people with really severe
Should
depression,
not expect.
like people who have super severe depression. Like
That's not able to work. They're talking about like
they're talking about like me,
you're not refusing to work.
not refusing.
Here's the thing. I think that person is a cunt, but I think it's a good thing to have a strong bare minimum for people. So I'm going to say
I agree that that person isn't being super thoughtful, but being thoughtless doesn't mean you should starve to death.
Those who are I'm happy when I think of a world where people have what they need. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support.
Strongly disagree. Yeah.
Should not expect. Okay. So I'm fucking dumb. I'm sorry.
When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things.
When you are troubled, it is better to not think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful. This is like, how is this political?
I'm going to say agree.
You try to distract yourself when you're sad.
It's
How
like
is
a
this
personal
political?
question.
Stop questioning it and answer.
Do you want us to go quicker, Lil?
No, it's just the semantics.
Like, because we
Like,
can,
the things that,
like, it's also.
This is like something my therapist would ask me to like find out if I have depression. When you are troubled, it's better
The
to not.
Rorschach
It's better
test.
to not think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things.
Well, maybe
Probably
it can be
not.
political because, like, in the news or something, they're like, "Oh, well, everything that's happening in Israel, but here's a picture of somebody's dog."
So
I guess.
I'm thinking, so they phrase the question in a self-help sense. I'm going to say when I am feeling sad about something personally, it's better to distract myself than to spiral over it. It's better to say, no, let's just watch some stupid Halo lore bullshit video than to spiral into like, oh, how exactly should my life be right now? Because it's an endless question. So do I think it's better for me when I am troubled to distract myself? Sometimes. Like, because sometimes you're just screwing
what's your
yourself
answer?
from the beginning. I'm putting agree.
Everybody agree. So I'm putting disagree, because I think that sometimes it's good to give yourself time to cool the fuck off after you're upset about something. But I think evaluating why you're troubled is important, and so I'm leaning that way. First-generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their new country. Disagree.
Yeah, strongly disagree.
What's good for the most successful corporations is always ultimately good for all of us. Strongly
Strongly
disagree.
disagree.
No broadcasting institution, however independent, is content. Nope.
However independent its content should receive public funding. So it's saying, should we have a PBS?
No broadcasting institution.
Should we have a
Does
national
CNN
news
get money from the government?
No, so PBS does. So it's saying, should we have a national news channel that says, this is what happened today? This, not saying this is what happened at the Republican debates and this is what need to change. Well, I guess it's not necessarily apolitical. Also true. Yes.
From viewers like you.
Is also publicly
Thank
funded.
you. I wish we still had public access TV. I hear comedians talk about doing weird shit on public access TV, and it sounds like so much fun, dude. Like, I understand the internet's
I bet
cool.
we still do.
We probably do, but like it's not the same. Like you think like the internet's cool because it gives everyone access to do whatever they want, but there is something cool about there being like 100 channels and like one of them's just like Todd down the street. You know what I mean? Like there's something fucking sick about that. Let's keep going.
There's something sick about like you have to pay money and consciously think every episode of
paying for this,
Chucklehead
dude.
Productions you make. You have to think about it first. You have to invest in it in advance and really decide, is this worth it?
What page? And how you see the wires? What the fuck? Why does it say that at the top? Do you see that? And how you see the wires wider society.
And how you see the wider society, yes.
Wait, what?
That's not part of the question.
Yeah, what is that? Okay. Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. Our civil liberties are excessively. So is it too much?
Like,
how is it being curbed?
I think
honestly,
the
fuck
Snowden
yeah, dude.
stuff
Yeah, that's what I
is
came to
pretty
immediately. That's
fucked.
fucking wild, dude.
But like,
the airport's fine. I don't really give a shit. Our civil
but like, yeah,
liberties-
when they say excessively curbed, like, it's not even like, so I think some people's civil rights are excessively curbed by police brutality and behavior of the police in general. I think
excessively just means too much.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go right away. Some people's civil rights are certainly fucking curbed by anti-terrorism.
Civil liberties.
Civil liberties. One of our best
So we
friends, civil
strongly
liberties, he constantly talks about it. Or not constantly, but he's talked about how his civil liberties are curbed in this country.
Mohammed. A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all the arguments that delay progress in a democratic political system.
Progress towards what?
I mean,
progress towards like the covenant. Like, what are we talking about? You know?
the answer is yes. It doesn't mean it's a good thing, but that is one of the that is an advantage. Sure.
Oh.
Like when you're making a pros and cons list, sure, democratic systems are slow. It's still better, but yeah, sure. If you were to make a pros and cons list underneath single one party, I would, but fast.
Well, I think
same thing with having like a king. It's not good, but it is
same
fast.
thing with having a king or with killing a bunch of people.
It is fast. If your argument is which is faster, sure, dog. Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. Disagree.
I'm going to say strongly disagree.
The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes.
Strongly disagree. I don't. Like, why? You know, it's cheaper.
Ted Bundy was a cunt.
It's cheap. Well, but that's all for a punitive justice. Like, so yeah, total bitch.
What about a military tribunal?
Yes, that's different to me. Yeah. So it's like, should we? So let's say, and I don't want to name names for the first person who came to mind, but X political figure is stirring up a lot of trouble within your country. X political figure could just die and would stop talking forever. Should we hold a military tribunal to kill X political figure? I don't
We don't have to
think so.
I was just editing episode 9. You were making jokes about we need to target the White House, but okay. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded. In a civilized society.
Strongly disagree. Like the term civilized is already so loaded, but let's take it for its like best possible meaning. A good society should have people above and people to be commanded. Like, no.
Oh, I'm going to say disagree.
Well, so when we say this, like, I'll broaden it, like, in societal implications, no.
What is the world without that?
I, as an actor, think that I should listen to a director based off of this kind of like authoritative perspective.
I think I might agree. I mean, I can't. This might just be the world I grew up in, but like I can't think of a world where like even if everything's democratic, like you have to give responsibility to someone to make decisions on behalf of the majority of the population, and that person's authority has to be respected to
But it's
some
saying
extent.
like obeyed and commanded. Like these words are
Those words are very strong.
strong.
I think I'm able to look past those just in looking at the idea of like how do you have a put together group of people without someone having work delegated to them, and they have to have some freedom to like make decisions. There's some like, you know what I mean? Like unless you have a vote on absolutely everything, which I guess you could do. I mean, I guess
you
if
don't even live in a society where you're being commanded, technically, everybody has a vote.
no, we vote to give representatives the authority to make decisions, and those decisions are respected and enforced by the police.
I guess so.
And so in our society, we definitely do that. I'm trying to think of, there's the word always, right? And we probably shouldn't be spending this much time on this question. But when you say the word always, I'm trying to think, okay, what is one scenario where you have a civilized society in which someone isn't given authority? And so, I mean, I guess if there's like 10 people, like I guess, you know what I mean?
I would say authority. So, for example, I would say like a really authoritatively perceived institution, the military. I would say that that's not even as like lack of authority is in general good. More discretion is good in general. I would say that like you have a like the U.S. like the reason the Russian military, a lot of people will say, is really like floundering in Ukraine is because Russian military doctrine is like Putin's best friend gives the command, and then everyone has to listen to Putin's best friend, and there's like no deviation from that. American military doctrine is like American military doctrine is like your colonels are under the command of your generals, who are under the command of your, like, you know, 5-star generals. I don't know the fucking ranks.
Colonel's definitely below
like,
general. But
yeah, it's everything. I know what's below general,
You're
but
good,
beyond
you're good.
that, I'm useless. But like, it's in the U.S. military, they have discretion. So your colonel can say, "Oh, the general said to take this point, and he said to take it this way, but this way is actually being obstructed by enemies. I'm going to go this way, and I have the right to do that as colonel." So basically, I don't think more top-down authority makes things better. So I don't think more commands make things better. I think more free thinkers make things better, like in the Clone Wars.
okay,
The CIS would have won the Clone Wars if authority made things better, but it doesn't.
I don't want to spend too much more time on it. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all. That doesn't represent anything.
Disagree, because it's so subjective. What you say doesn't represent anything might represent the world to someone else.
But what if it literally doesn't represent anything?
It's still considered art. This is art.
Shouldn't be considered art at all.
Yeah, I think that's just showing how we view the question. When in my brain I see this doesn't represent anything, it's with the caveat, oh, but it could to someone. You're saying, I guess maybe what you might be arguing is in the question is saying it doesn't matter to anything, so it doesn't, should we give it funding? Yeah. But I'm saying, I'm taking the question from a more personal perspective, like, does it matter to me?
Babe, you agree with that?
Well, Julian just explained why I agree with it. There's the Julian looks at things philosophically, and I look at things more objectively. And so I'm hung up on the that doesn't represent anything. So like in a world where you can create
made it and it doesn't represent anything. Who does it represent to somebody?
in a world where you could I don't think you could do this, but in a world where you could hypothetically make a piece of art that hypothetically doesn't mean anything to anyone, like literally doesn't mean anything.
But what if that is the art man?
It's a pretty good point, actually.
It's actually a good point. That is, maybe that's the point.
That's the point, man.
Thank you, Julian. I appreciate it. No, I didn't like giving that answer, but I did think it. But no, that is a good point. What if, but I guess that is representing something, isn't it? Because like if the point is that it doesn't represent anything, that it does represent the lack of there being something.
No.
Yes, it does.
I wish we could get your face.
It's
during
really hot in
more
this room.
Lil. I wish we could get.
Julian, read the next question. Come on, let's get.
All right. In a criminal justice. Sorry, it was very law and order.
In a criminal justice system, we're
Dedicated
represented.
detective-
Let's go!
In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special
Spectral-
Victims Unit. These are their stories.
Dong! All right, let's go.
Dun, dun. Please put the dun dun there in post. In a criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation.
Yeah, strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree.
It is a waste of time to try to rehabilitate some criminals. Some
Strongly
criminals?
disagree.
It is a waste of
You should
to
this.
try.
You should
I guess. Yeah, hold on. It is a waste of time. Try, sure. We should try and then give up.
We should try with everybody.
Sure. You're not going to eat anyone else, right? The business.
I promise. Maybe.
I'm gonna try really hard. Listen, okay. You can't buy drugs, guns, or silverware. Okay. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist. Disagree.
You know what? It's so funny that I'm pausing over this.
The business and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the
Like,
artist.
so I think
you're all
that
important.
art gives everyone's fair enough. Fair enough. You're all important.
You're all very special. Stand back and stand by.
You're all very special.
Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers. Disagree.
Whoa. Strongly?
Mothers have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers.
Just
Oh,
disagree.
homemakers. Sorry. I interpreted that as being mothers. Like.
No.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you like
When I first read that, I thought I
We're
read it as
saying
their first
you
duty is
have
to be like a mother. You know what I mean? Like
you
my
have
mom
to
should
not
put
drop
me
the
in front of
child
their
on
job.
its head. That's non-negotiable. But in terms
homemaker
of cleaning,
is a different word.
Cleaning, you
My
can
bad.
split that up.
Multinational companies, I got it that time. Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant genetic resources of developing countries. What the fuck?
GMOs.
Multinational companies are unethically. I don't know.
I
don't know.
GMOs.
GMOs aren't inherently bad. That's not what they say. I don't know if they're unethically. I don't know
So-
of any company, let alone whether or not it's multinational and whether or not they've even done this. They could have made this up and I'd have no idea. Let's move on. I don't know. Disagree. Move on. I don't fucking know. Do you know? You don't know. No one in this room knows.
I do.
It's a dumb.
So
You know whether or not they're unethically exploiting
I
plant
mean, I don't.
genetic
No one
resources of
knows
developing
anything.
countries.
When you say that, it makes me laugh. There's this. What is it? I watched this show with Cameron, and in this show, there's this one guy who's doing this one like smart line. He says, and he comes over and he's like a smart actor, and his smart line is, "Are you even aware of the geopolitical ramifications of bioengineering?" And it's like, so. I
Wait,
bought
wait, they really
because
said that?
they
That's
said
called-
that, and because they said that, I took the time to think about it. I'm like, what are the geopolitical ramifications? So it's like when Monsanto has like super corn, and Monsanto says to a country in Africa, like, your climate is perfect for growing our super corn. Now, super corn does kill every single native plant
probably.
that you currently grow. But it's super corn, so we'll buy it from you.
So I do know that
That's
I
basically
do
what
know
it
that in
is.
America, if you have, I don't know what the right word is, normal corn, and then the fucking plot next to you has GMO corn, and then the wind blows that corn into your field, and then they come in and test your corn, and suddenly their GMO corn is growing on your field, regardless of the fact of whether or not you planted it. Like, I don't know exactly what the ratifications are, but I do know you get fucked in that scenario. So they probably are. I cannot. If you were to ask me to like list one situation, I don't fucking know. You know,
I think you should.
But probably.
agree, because you.
I said agree.
If that was happening, would that be a bad thing? Is it unethical if they were exploiting these other countries?
That's not what it's asking. It's asking if they are. I'm saying I don't know.
Okay, Zachary, you're
I
taking
said-
a political test, right? So if you knew
And my political
the
is
other side
fucking
would be
English.
That, oh, well, maybe they need the money and they're getting paid for it, so it's not unethical because blah, 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 blah. But do you see my point?
No, but we have 2 more pages. Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. The fuck? I don't even know what that means. Disagree. Move on.
See, now your test isn't going to be accurate.
It said mature. Fuck off. You know, like, don't tell me what's mature and what's not mature. Go fuck yourself.
The establishment is an aspect of maturity. I agree.
Oh, this is hilarious.
I'm going.
Page 5 says, if you got through that, okay, you'll find these propositions on religion a breeze. Oh, I can't read that first word.
Astrology accurately.
Ah, dumbass, you're dumb too. Try to act like you're smart, dumb bitch. Astrology accurately explains many things. Strongly disagree. You cannot be moral without being religious. Wait, what did I say? Strongly agree.
Yeah.
Accurately explains many things. Fuck. Strongly disagree. Yes. Strongly disagree. Charity is better than Social Security as a means of helping. Strongly disagree. Better? No. Some people are naturally unlucky. You're fucking dumb. Is it important that a child's school instills religious values? Strongly disagree. That was fucking easy. Let's go. We still have one more page. Oh, I'll look at sex. Woo! Okay, you ready, Julian?
Give me 1 second.
You have to think on those?
I have to think about some people are naturally unlucky. So it's like, so if we're talking about this magic phenomena, like, so I agree, magic doesn't exist. If we're talking about the magic of unluckiness,
you're not even talking about karma right now.
I'm not talking about.
Some people are naturally unlucky. Are you dumb? You think someone out there, you think someone's born and they just keep flipping heads because they're unlucky and they really want to get a tails. Someone out there is just naturally gonna.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's very silly.
That's not luck.
Well, yeah, what you're saying.
You have a 50-50 chance. You will statistically have a number close to 50-50. He's saying that just by the origin of being born, I'm not talking about being born in a bad, like, fucking country. Okay, being born in a less developed country.
Right, it's lucky that I was born in Bellevue, Washington, for me.
But that doesn't mean you're lucky, that means you got lucky. That's not what luck is. No one is lucky. People get lucky.
So I agree. No one is lucky in a scientifically measurable way. I'm just saying.
You have to think about that?
People do get lucky.
But that doesn't mean they are lucky.
People keep getting lucky, and some people so much.
Some people get lucky a lot.
We're saying the word lucky so much. It's like.
Is your mind blown, Lily?
No, I feel like I constantly felt like an unlucky person a lot of my life.
Okay, you can feel unlucky. You can be unlucky. Yeah. You can be an unlucky person.
Well,
Nobody is inherently. Sorry. You can be a person who keeps getting unlucky. That doesn't mean that you are unlucky. Are you saying you're a bad open? If you think you're unlucky, I want you the fuck out of my house. You really think that?
I'm saying that I used to think
now you think he's crazy.
No, I don't think he's crazy. I'm just saying I have empathy for it because I felt.
I have empathy for it too.
Like I remember.
That doesn't mean it's real.
Yeah, I remember a point in my life where I thought that I genuinely thought that if I wished for the opposite of something, I'd actually get the thing I really did.
Do you think that was silly? Looking back on it, is that silly? Was that? Let's put it that way. Let's take away silly. Let's take away silly. Do you think that was accurate or inaccurate?
It's inaccurate.
You're pausing, bro?
It's inaccurate to assume on the basis of luck.
Are you serious? You think some people have an inherent value of luck? Dude, this isn't D&D. We don't have stats, bro. You think some motherfuckers just don't put any stats in luck? What is this, dog?
That makes me laugh. I don't know why. It's such a stupid. I love in Fallout New Vegas that like your luck level or wait, is your agility level is scaled as like number 9 is knife thrower and then number 10 is knife catcher, and that makes me laugh a lot. But I think so. It just depends. I think we're just arguing over what the term unlucky means.
No, we're not. We're arguing about when you're born. If someone's born,
so are we saying am I arguing that that God just makes lucky babies and unlucky babies? No.
Are you saying that throughout life someone will have...
It's such a subjective question, and it's exactly what Megan was reminding us of, like, don't overthink it. Go with your gut. But it's such it's a question that is so based on circumstance, like, are there people in this world who have had so many unlucky things happen to them that you could describe them as being blanketly unlucky people? Yes, I think so.
You wouldn't say that they got really unlucky. You would say that they
Well,
are.
what's the
they
difference
themselves.
between
There's
getting
something
really
wrong with them.
unlucky and being?
They when they were born.
I am not saying there's something magically wrong with them, but I'm saying getting unlucky a certain number of times constitutes calling someone unlucky. Lucky, 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 lucky.
Yeah, it sounds weird.
Sounds yucky, 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 yucky.
I don't think that you guys are gonna agree on this one. And
No, if I can think of a good analogy, I
it's
think
almost
Julian
reached
will.
2 hours.
I've gotten him to shift his mind a couple of times.
That's like that's what I spend this whole
This
podcast
next one isn't
doing
gonna
is
take
if
that
I
long.
can just think of a good analogy, maybe. Maybe. Yeah.
Luck is such a weird thing.
People are
Zach, you're acting like it's a religion or something.
I'm just
He's acting like it's a religion.
No.
You're assuming.
I have said outright
Okay,
so
you're right,
many
you're right.
times.
No,
Like it's
you're
a
right, you're right.
religion.
It is the
You're saying the
culmination of
term-
many statistics.
You are saying okay. You're
It is that statistically everyone is average,
Can you
so
put the
therefore
question
some
back up?
people
I want to see the word.
statistically
It's-
everything's average.
No, I can't.
So
I can
therefore
give
some
you his.
people will be at the very end of the bell curve, and therefore you can with some accuracy call them unlucky because they are so far at the end of that luck statistical bell curve. It is important that my child's
Do you
school instills
think-
religious values. Disagree.
Do you think that a bad person is always bad?
No.
No. You think that they're able to change?
Yes.
So if someone goes throughout life and makes a bunch of bad decisions, are they a bad person or have they done bad things? And are they able to do good things and then become a good person?
So I think you're missing my point when I keep saying you're right. There's no magic like lucky factor.
You're
There's
saying
no-
that because
there's
people
no
have been
D&D.
unlucky, that makes them unlucky.
because if
Because
They're
they
not.
have been unlucky.
Until
They
they're
are now labeled as unlucky. Whereas
until they're not. Yeah, Lily's right. It's just until you're not.
You can be unlucky. You don't have to be unlucky.
it's like being
all the
hot
time.
and cold.
Yeah.
It's being
Like,
hot
oh,
and
I'm
cold.
unlucky right now.
But yeah,
Versus,
but
I'm lucky right now.
really
That doesn't sound.
Naturally is important.
If
You guys
all
are-
of my
okay,
family members
okay.
died in a year,
We disagree on the
I'd be
definition of lucky.
statistically
Move on.
pretty
Answer the rest of those questions. They're all dumb.
I got the rest of them.
Cool.
Sex
Next one.
outside marriage is usually immoral. Strongly disagree.
Same-sex couple in a stable. What?
A same-sex
Yo, my
couple in
dumb
a
ass was
stable,
like horses
loving
and donkeys.
relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. Strongly agree.
Why are the gays in the stable? In a stable living relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of adoption. A same-sex couple in a state should not be excluded. Okay.
Pornography depicting consenting adults should be legal for the adult population.
Is there a super strongly agree?
Yeah, right, brother.
Adults is no business of the state. What the fuck? No one can feel naturally homo. Wait, okay, I guess I'll read the question just for the sake of reading it. What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state. Strongly agree. No one can feel naturally homosexual. No one can feel.
So strongly disagree. I think people can feel naturally as much
But
as we
what about
feel
naturally
naturally.
lucky. Are they born with it? Naturally unlucky people?
No, that's how I look at that. That's how I look at the ridiculousness of comprehending that question. He's on a completely different plane. We completely disagree on what that means.
Zach is saying that. If I'm correct, Zach is saying unluckiness is more of a quality. The question is asking, do some people have the quality of unluckiness? We
No, I
both
said born with the quality of
born
unluckiness.
with the quality
So
of
you don't
unluckiness.
think with that wording, my evaluation is more accurate? It's saying, are you born with the quality of going to be unlucky?
So I think So again,
because they don't have history.
Zach,
they don't have a
for
bunch
the
of
third
things
or
to have
fourth
gone wrong.
time, like.
But the born thing, that
Yes.
doesn't change your mind?
So are you born unlucky or lucky? Like.
So like what happened before then that you're saying a bunch of unlucky things have happened, so statistically they
If
are unlucky
you're
because a bunch what has
born-
happened before
if
then?
you're
They
born-
got unlucky because they were fucking conceived in a bad situation?
Yes.
Then they are okay. Fine.
You got
Okay.
unlucky because you're conceived in a bad
Okay.
situation, and then that bad situation keeps
Okay.
making you, quote,
you're being silly.
unlucky.
These days, openness about sex has gone too far. Strongly disagree.
Now let's see where we stand.
I'm a Nazi. No, okay. I don't need you to tell me, Doug.
Yeah,
Yo, there are so many ads. North Korea, China, Switzerland. Bro, can I just get to the bottom? Okay.
Wow, what a surprisingly accurate dot. That Julian, you like guessed it like on the money.
Okay, wait.
we both live in Seattle,
Can you
dog.
show mine? Because it's like
I can.
It's like a little bit more left and a little bit more libertarian. So this is me right now. I think that Megan's pulling up.
Oh, Jesus,
Yeah.
that's quite different between the two.
So I'm
So you
I'm
are-
more left and more
I can't read.
libertarian.
I can't read how many. What are your squares? So here, I'll look at mine. I am. So if I were at the very bottom of libertarian, I am, and I'll put a dot. So
So I'm minus 7.49 for authoritarian libertarian.
it says that.
It says that. Yes.
Can you scroll it so that I can actually see it? There's an ad in the way.
That's
Mine doesn't say it right there.
me,
Oh,
right?
okay,
Yeah.
so
This is me.
Oh, there we go.
I thought we were looking at the chart. No. Okay.
So this is my personal score of -6 and -7.49.
There's like Battleship. You sunk my government.
You sunk the fucking system, liberal.
Okay, well, I don't really have anything to evaluate. It was just kind of fun to argue.
Okay, wait. So Zack is -3. I'm actually, that's the most different I've gotten among a lot of my friends, which I think is surprising because we almost agreed on everything.
Well, to be,
I would say we
quite a few
agreed
things.
on 80% of things pretty strongly.
But yeah, I mean, look at the size of the board, Julian.
Well, fair enough that it's like you should expect everyone on libertarian left to agree 75% of the way, and then that remaining 5% is just like our personal things.
Yippee!
It's interesting that I'm more libertarian than you. Well, I don't want to say it's I would say I think of you as being more fundamental. Like if we're
See,
talking
I
about
told you I thought you'd be
politics,
surprised. Look
I
at
think of you as being
Look at
more
you, buddy.
fundamentally libertarian.
Buddy
I'm
boy,
surprised.
you're actually
I'm
way more libertarian.
surprised.
You're more. Our difference on the left is smaller than our difference on libertarian.
Libertarian
You are
versus
more
authoritarian.
liberal than you are left for me.
Yeah. No, definitely.
You
Yeah.
fucking libto. No.
Well, I've started to become more of like a libertarian.
Nazi. I'm like 3 squares closer to Ben Shapiro, dog. I'm truly. I wonder what you'd have to answer to be right in the middle. And what does that mean about you and your personality?
He's just like, I don't care.
How boring of a person are you? If you're like dead in the middle, like who is that? Who in our society is dead in the middle?
It's like, I don't know.
Jesse Steele.
Yeah, I
Jesse
think people
Steele's
are
dead.
really unlucky, but you know,
It might
also.
have to do with those two, like there was those 2 questions that were very similar. I think about like gay marriage and like
Probably not.
and like adopt. There were 2 that were really similar. So if you did like completely different answers for 2 of those, I think it might sway you a little bit more in the middle because they'd just be like, "The fuck are you talking about?"
Let's think. It was 6 by 6 roughly. So I mean, you can roughly attribute like 3% difference to per question, right? 36, and then out of 100.
6 by 6. Yeah.
So I mean, and so if we have a different answer on a few of them, then that's 10%, right?
Yeah, no, that's
So.
that's a good point. Like it's interesting how much this like, and well, again, I think it kind of shows like a little bit of what I thought, which is that we politically, and I've always thought this about us, like whenever I'm arguing with you, it's for maybe a different reason than you think, but it's because we agree so much, and there's just a semantic adjustment between us. And I think it's just that you think I should be making the semantic adjustment, and I think you should be making the semantic adjustment. Very broadly.
I don't think you should be. I just think you're crazy.
Not you should be.
You can be crazy over there. It's okay. You liberal left.
You just respect.
No. Okay, Julian. Well, that's episode 11. You want to yell something loud?
Yes.
Cool.
Give it another 30 seconds, it'll be exactly 2 hours.
So how long's your penis?
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god.
It's too. That's how fucking hot it is in this room. My hands were so sweaty.
Don't stop, we go straight to the top. Don't stop, we go straight to the top. I am that dude. I am that dude. I am that dude. I am that dude. I am that. Don't stop, we go straight to the top. Don't stop, we go straight to the top. And we all going together.